Now, Simon's having fun this morning, looking closely at an industry that's worth a fair bit to the UK's economy. Well, that's what he says he's doing. No, he's just playing about. Look at that.
I'm a big kid in an even bigger toy shop. Yes, I'm at the London Toy Fair in the London's Olympia. And this is actually an industry that's done pretty well over the last year. In fact, it's back to pre-recession levels. Let me just take this fetching helmet off. There we go. Yes, in fact, let's have a quick look at some of the numbers that the toy industry turned in last year. In all, this is an industry worth £2.8 billion, the UK economy. Now, that's up 6% on last year. They sold 374 million toys. That's 30 toys per kid under the age of 16. It's not just the high-tech toys which are doing well. Old things like Lego sets, building sets, they were up 45%. Cuddly toys were up 39%. And the World Cup during the summer, of course, promoted the sale of sports-related toys. Well, I'm here with Natasha Crookes from the British Toy and Hobby Association, also Andrew Coplestone from HDI Entertainment, HDI, whose stand this is. Good morning to you both. Natasha, first of all, the big question, we've got some important economic numbers out today, first and foremost, and everyone wants to know how much of an impact the bad weather had, because Christmas must be huge for this industry. What difference did it make?
December was actually up on the previous year, about 7% up. So in all, I think the snow had a sort of short-term effect, but we actually managed to get toys out. Santa definitely still delivered toys for Christmas. So overall, it worked itself out, even though we had the bad weather.
Okay, Andrew. Now I see lots of toys here. I'm guessing most of them weren't made in this country. Is this an industry we've lost?
Well, over a number of years, yeah, the manufacturing base has moved more to the Far East. But that's not to say we've lost it forever. There's certainly with the inflationary pressures in China, I can see Europe, UK, manufacturing maybe coming back.
And Natasha, what are the big sellers? What is it? It's very interesting that it's retro toys that are actually driving some of the sales. What's behind that, do you think?
I think parents like traditional play value, the things that they enjoyed playing when they were small, and they like passing those things on to their children. But I think also there's a lot of innovation in the industry. There's brands that you'd recognise like Lego who've driven the construction toys through. But there's also a lot of new companies coming in, as well as the ones that you'd recognise, and they're all bringing innovation through in order to make sure that toys are still have lots of play value for children this year.
I suppose when they're young children, you're selling as much to their parents as anyone else. Talking about parents and the poor parents' pocketbooks and you know the pressure on their wallets, wages are going up less fast than the price of goods. What do you see having to consumer sentiment and inflation this year?
Well, inflation, as I said before, inflationary pressure has been building up in China for a number of years. That's been delayed for so long. There's no doubt that some of that is going to reflect in prices for this year. But the quality of product has to improve. The quality of innovation has improved, and that's really meaning that for the parents there are so many toys, so many options, so many different ways of developing products that will help educate and develop children. So.
And what about consumer sentiment? People, I mean, we've heard a lot of reports about consumers beginning to tighten their belts, just looking out to this year and saying this is going to be a tough one. There's job losses on the horizon, particularly in the public sector. That's got to have an impact on the pester power that the kids can actually inflict on their parents.
I think all parents are able to say no to their children. We know that children have products that they like to have, and I think parents also want their children to have things, even if they have to cut back on their own spending. You want to make sure that your children have things that they can enjoy and can help them develop.
The little treasures will get whatever they want, we'll go without. Okay. Well, we've got those important economic numbers out at 9:30. We're hearing from the toy industry that the snow wasn't too much an effect. That's the big wild card on those numbers, but more from me at the London Toy Fair a little bit later.
All right, Simon, thanks very much. Simon looking very happy at that toy fair, isn't he?
Very happy,
Yeah.
although there were problems with his microphone, for which we apologise. We are giving some serious consideration to happiness this morning.